Hello and welcome to the Through the Decades January 2026 Premodern Monthly, coming to you from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky. Today we'll be showcasing the semifinal match between Cody on the left, fresh from beating me in the top 8 with Bant TerraGeddon, and on the right we'll have my co-commentator Austin with Red Green Terra Ponza Oath. And we'll get to the deck list right after a word from our sponsor. Through the Decades, in conjunction with the Ohio River Boas, are proud to bring you Grand Prix Louisville on June 6, 2026. If you ever find yourself missing not only the pre-modern era of Magic the Gathering, but the old tournament structure, this will be the event for you. The entry fee for the main event is $60 and will include a specially designed Grand Prix Louisville playmat and a stamped card. Prize support for the main event will be $5,000, paying out to the top 16, along with a Magic the Gathering themed championship belt for the winner. Side events will include some retro booster drafts, including Mirage Block, Tempest Block, and Urza's Block, along with a Pauper Win-a-Duel giving out a Tundra to first place and a Bayou for second place. The main event will max out at 300 players, so seating is limited as we throw one of the largest celebrations of the pre-modern format to date. So, don't miss your chance to be part of pre-modern Magic history and sign up by scanning the QR code on the screen. All right, and here we are looking at Cody's deck list, or his deck photo on his very professionally done bedspread here. I guess I'll talk about it since Austin's going to be talking about his Terrapon's Oath list. So, Cody is essentially trying to lock his opponents out of the game using cards like Wasteland and Richard Import and Meddling Mage to prevent his opponents from playing his cards. He's got his Weathered Wayfarers to be able to go tutor up the Wastelands or the Richard Imports or even more fetch lands to be able to sacrifice, put triggers on stack, and then tutor up more lands to keep the advantage flowing there. Then shutting the door with either an Armageddon or a Cataclysm after he casts one of his fat creatures, either the Exalted Angel or the Terravore, which will be able to take advantage of having all those lands go into the graveyard. Then he's just got some catch-all answers, Naturalizes, Ray of Revelation, Seal of Cleansing, a number of Swords to Plowshares, things like that. And then sideboard, nothing too exciting here, I'll be completely honest. But uh, he's been doing a lot of good work with it in this matchup. And hey, how do you feel about this matchup, Austin? Is it good or terrible?
I wouldn't say terrible is the right word, but I definitely don't like my odds if I had to play against Cody 10 times in this matchup. Uh his Terravores obviously will be the same size as my Terravores.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just gonna run into each other a lot in these games and just kill each other off. The problem is that he has four swords of plowshare, so he could kill mine and keep his alive. I don't have that luxury of doing that. I pretty much just have to trade them off and just kind of count them down. So
Yeah, those swords absolutely make this matchup in his favor for sure. Now you'll gain a lot of life, but that's just one hit from a Terravore afterwards.
exactly. And another problem is that Exalted Angel. I have no way to knock that thing out of the air. So if he's ever able to get enough mana to cast that, or even play it as its morph and then flip it up for the morph cost, I'm going to be really up a creek without a paddle at that point.
Exactly, and that's not where you want to be. Now let's get on over to your list and see exactly what counterplay you have against Cody here. All right, now we've got Austin's deck list here. Now, Austin, talk about your list here and what you think you can do to try and fight off this, let's say, not terrible, but not great matchup either in Bant Tarragon.
Yeah. So the main focus of this deck is the Oath of Druids up in the top left corner. Um, Again, this matchup, it's not the best. Cody has 12 creatures. Um, so he has a little bit, but it's really not the axis I want to fight on. The axis I want to fight on is the lands matchup. I'm the better lands player than Cody is. I have a lot more just lands that do stuff. It's really mainly the Mishra's Factories. I have four of those while he has zero of them. I also have 8 land destruction spells and Thermokarst and Winter's Grasp, so I can blow up his lands a lot more efficiently, a lot better than he can blow up my lands. So I'm gonna try to just keep him off his mana play a Seer Resistance or two to really just make it where he can't play spells and honestly attack with Treetop Village, or if I could get a Terrafor with him not having one, I can end the game pretty quickly that way. So that's really the axis I'm going to try to fight him on.
Yeah. And looking at your list and comparing it to his list, you're both on four wastelands. You've got four ports to his two. You've also got four treetop villages to his two. So you have more ways to fight on that axis. So yes, you absolutely are the better lands deck when it comes to that. Also, your Pyroclasm and your Earthquake don't look too terrible in the face of Meddling Mages and Weathered Wayfarers.
Yeah, Weather Wayfarer is definitely going to be a problem for me in this. Weather Wayfarer could really kind of buoy Cody's lands. So if I'm
Mhm.
doing the lands thing that I want to do, but he has a Wayfarer, he could just keep tutoring up lands, and it's like it just keeps him at parity. And I'm going to eventually run out of Ermakar's Wintergrass and stuff like that. He's not going to run out of lands before I run out of those spells. So that's a bad interaction for me. So I've got to definitely deal with Weather Wayfarer if I see it come down.
Yeah. No, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the beautiful deck photo you have here with all of these Japanese cards. Thermokarst obviously not being in Japanese, but it looks like somebody's showing off how they were a finalist at the Evansville Eternal Open in 2025, which is a wonderful charity event run by Javier Lugo, who he should be hopefully announcing the 2026 Evansville Eternal Open soon. Maybe a little run back on that one for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is always near the top of my list of what to play. I am known to play a little bit different if I think it's in a well spot, but when worst comes to worst, I'll play this deck over anything.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Otherwise, this deck, like I said, it's beautiful. The four different seasons of Mishra's Factories. Now, your Wooded Foothills, if I remember correctly, are currently with Rob Alexander, your actual Japanese ones, right?
Yep, yep. I got him back now at this point, but at the time, yeah, I just had the English ones, so it's a slow work in progress to also get these all signed by everybody. So it's a labor of love.
Yeah. All right, but enough gushing over this deck list and this deck photo, and let's get to these games and see how you fare. All right, and it looks like we've got a pair of opening hands here. Both players mulliganing to six, and Cody being the number two seed, taking the play here with that card that you were hoping he didn't have.
Yeah, but it looks like I have a an earthquake in hand to at least stymie the bleeding. I play fetch land partially also to kind of make it where he can't wasteland me or
Yes.
do any other shenanigans with my lands. So I would not be
And
surprised to just see me go land earthquake, get that out of my face here.
wouldn't
So
surprise me either.
no,
Now he will be able to get some value off of this, unfortunately for you.
yeah, unless I have a like a mox diamond in hand, which I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm think I'm contemplating my life choices right now. Do I really have to waste this earthquake on a weather wayfair? And the answer is yes, yes, I do.
It absolutely is. I think I'm gonna go get the forest here,
Yep.
and I truly appreciate. Oh,
Yeah, me pushing it across. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little cheeky doing the earthquake damage to both of us beforehand, but
there we go.
okay, there we go.
And yeah, it obviously is gonna get the a wasteland, so we can wasteland your Cartolution.
Yep, yep. In the end, it's a 2-for-1 exchange for Cody. That's where he wants to be. Just any 2-for-ones, any type of advantage like that, you'll take it in these
Yeah.
type of matchups.
Oh yeah. And cycling a Tranquil Thicket.
And as you see, like we're talking, we're joking around during this game. I'm not shuffling his deck after he shuffles. We've known each other for years, so we're just being nice and cordial about this.
Also, and I think this is important to mention, the players have actually decided to split the prize. So this is all just for for the trophy cards, and honestly for the content. So I appreciate you guys kind of keeping on just so we can have this.
Oh, of course. I also want to hang this over Cody's head if I beat him
Oh, of
in the end.
course. It is so much fun to give your friends guff for being better
Oh,
than
I
them.
do it all the time.
Gee, I've never noticed that you've given me guff for beating me at the Evansville Eternal Open. It's never happened before.
Never. That's just not my style.
Now, now I will also mention this because this is a far more lax environment. You hear people talking and sort of commenting just a little bit, nothing like, "Hey, you should do this," but uh, I may or may not have said something during a finals match that hopefully the mic didn't catch up about cards in someone's hand. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yes.
Cody dropping down a Terravor, and this is where he wants to be, and you are probably not happy to see. Yep.
No. Kind of like I said, I'm gonna basically have to use mine to block his. But if
Hmm.
he has a swords here, I am in deep trouble.
Yeah. Your Terravor removal is a Terravor. His Terravor removal is Terravor and Swords to Plowshares. You don't win that match usually.
No. So I think the Terravors, if I can see that right, are 8/8s. So I put the dice down because both of them are the same, so it's just easier to put
Six.
it in the middle.
Yep.
Like
8/8 looks good. I see two four lands in his graveyard, and no, five in his, and three in yours.
okay. And there's another big inflection point in this matchup, the Sylvan Library. Yeah, and that's why I blow it up immediately. It's just whoever has Sylvan Library can just go ahead and card advantage and
Hmm.
just snowball the game that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
You taking the aggressive line and easy trade.
Yep. I fully expected that to get traded off, but I got to do it. And the second one.
But
So,
that is disgusting right
yeah,
there.
quite. Hopefully, I have a
And
second one to play here. If not, I don't think I'm going to be on for this world.
you've got a Thermokarst to blow up this treetop village, but it's not exactly the best.
No.
And
I think that's 9.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we even heard you say there, just I'm not doing it. Yep, and just packing them in.
Yep. Pack it in.
Yep, and I think that was a good example of what we were talking about with Terravore supremacy. Yep,
Hmm.
and I can even hear you saying I don't even like this matchup at all. So,
No, I don't. I really don't.
well, let's go ahead and take a peek at Cody's list and see what we think he's going to bring in. It's not those hailstorms, I'll tell you that much.
Very much not.
All right, well, we'll take a peek at those lists though right now. All right, and taking a look back here at Cody's deck photo, I'm seeing here some cards that we might want to bring in. Naturalize and Aura of Silence seem pretty good here. They help us win the Sylvan Library War, as you said, was so important in game one. And is that Reprisal I see here?
Yeah, that reprisal is also going to come in. That card is very good in this matchup.
Yeah. For the record, is a one in a white instant. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It cannot be regenerated. Now, it can't get your man lands, unfortunately, but boy, having another removal spell for your Terravor seems pretty good. And you do not have anything even resembling that in your list. So having basically a fifth way to win the Terravor war is going to be really good. Now for
Yeah.
cuts, I don't know, probably a pair of Armageddon would be safe to cut. And you could argue a Cataclysm just because they're 4 drops and you're both already messing with each other's mana, so I don't think you want to try and do that, especially with you both being Mox Diamond decks. Uh, Being cheeky, I almost want to say cut at least a Trevor's Ruin. I know cutting a land isn't great, but boy, are the lair lands just the dirt worst in this kind of a matchup.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. The Armageddon's just, I don't think that's really the axis you want to fight me on. So I think those are pretty safe to cut.
Yeah. All right, and Austin, let's be honest, that was a beating game one. What can you do to shore this up?
So I think right off the bat, the Oath of Druids are probably staring at me as the worst card in the deck right now. Just again, I'm not really fighting him very well on the Terravore axis. He's going to win that fight. I'm trying to just keep him off his lands and keep him stumbled on mana. So I'm cut all of those, and I'm going to bring in the Call of the Herds
Mhm.
just so I have a little bit more beef. In that, since I'm cutting the O's, I can't just kind of rely on Terravore to kind of get in there that way. I'm also definitely going to have to bring in the Naturalizes.
Yeah.
Just kind of go back to Sylvan Library Supremacy. That's really a big axis in this fight. So that's 5 cards I'm bringing in, 4 that I currently say I'm bringing out. If I remember correctly, I think I brought out one of the Winter's Grass just just to trim there. I don't really think I can take anything else out. I think that's just the most expendable card at this point.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Just trim to form on the land destruction spells, and while you know he's not playing any snow covered basics, and neither are you, so you don't get to put any tally marks on your Thermakarst. It's
I gotta
still you gotta rep it.
gotta rep it.
All right, well, let's see if that plan has any legs. Although, actually, before we do that, I do want to ask, actually, is there any thought to Tranquil Domain? Or is
No,
that
not
too
really.
cute because it's just the Sylvan Library and it doesn't do as much as we'd like for it to?
Yeah, really, that Tranquil Domain was mainly there for the Enchantress matchup. Being a local tournament with a lot of our locals, a lot of people have been starting to dabble into the Enchantress deck. I know you you're definitely on the main of that, but you
Mhm.
moved off it just because you knew there's just going to be so much hate for Enchantress going into this. So that's just kind of my hedge for if people showed up with that deck. I've got kind of a hammer to deal with them.
Well, fair enough. All right, well, then, this time for sure, let's go on ahead and get to our game two and see if you can salvage what was after beating what was game one. So, all right, and it looks like we've got a pair of opening hands here. You are mulliganing to six, and Cody keeping seven on the draw, which is not exactly where you want him to be.
Yeah.
But it looks like you're
Yep.
able to at least
I've got a
start
solar
messing with his.
hand.
You're gonna start messing with his
Yep.
mana base here.
Hmm. Oh. That's fair as this is going to do well on the mess with his lands strategy.
Yeah, you're basically slapping on that chokehold and just telling him like, shh, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yep. Yep.
But a very timely Sylvan Library and a natural.
Very timely naturalized to
Yes,
make
you
up for it.
you absolutely have recognized, and as you said multiple times already, you've recognized that the Sylvan Library is one of the points you want to fight this game on. It looks like he drew. Is that a naturalize? I just saw him pick up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going to play Sealed Cleansing and so let's see. Do you have a Thermakarst to truly punish that decision?
I don't believe so. I think I saw Terravore in hand, but nope. It looks like I'm just gonna
No, you're getting
get the
routed.
beatdown plan started with a treetop.
Yeah.
But this layer lane definitely does have a target on its head for my Rashad imports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree there. Let's see here. So it looks like you've got another port and a naturalize in hand. I can't see the third card right now. Looks like just with the way that the table is angled, we're always able to see whoever's on the right hand just a little bit better.
Yeah. Timely turn 5 Mox Diamond, or turn 6 Mox Diamond, even better.
Yeah, I think that is a Terraform in your hand, so it looks like you're having a little bit of a think there.
Yeah.
That's a 3/3, it looks like.
Yeah. Not the biggest, not the most impressive, but as this game goes longer and if he stays around, he'll slowly start to grow.
And I appreciate the die here to help with commentary. Although,
I'll try my best.
I would love to get some better dice here.
Yeah.
Some D6s with the pips on them always look good.
hmm
And Cody returning serve with a Terravore of his own.
Yep. And there's me doing my best Doombladed, just
Yep,
having to trade those guys off.
not exactly where you want to be, but yeah, I like tapping down 2 green sources and a blue source all in one.
hmm
That wasteland is going to be pretty backbreaking.
Yeah. Not ideal. I guess I have the nice thing of I have so many lands that are useful and relevant in this matchup that he doesn't just have a easy I have to hit this one, I hit this one target. Yeah. I kind of gave it to him a little bit there with tapping out to where he can now have free range on his mana, but
Yeah, yeah,
I have
I
to
love.
put the pressure on
Okay.
right now while he's kind of stumbling a little bit. He's had a lot of turns with a fair amount of mana. I've got to just punish it and try to beat him down as fast as I can at this point. So
Yeah,
I'm good with that play.
yeah, you're out of the game plan of keeping him off mana, and you just kind of have to try and beat him down. And Cheats
He's
McGee
trying to
over
let me
here trying to
know.
play a meddling mage for 2 mana with a sphere of resistance in play. But the good guy on the right here recognizing and catching that before the game is irrevocably broken. You
Yeah.
might be thinking about casting the or popping the seal.
I think he's talking through what he wants to name with meddling mage, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. What does he name?
I believe pyroclasm, if I remember correctly.
Oh, and he's going to write it down for us. So excuse me.
Yep, there I am talking through. We need a little dry erase board. Uh, Things that we could put behind the meddling mages. So
Yeah. Also, conveniently, you can write on the cards with dry erase markers because the sleeves actually just wipe clean off. I used to do that on
mm,
webcam games all the time. That sealer cleansing though is doing a lot of work preventing those factories from booting up.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to just give him a free stone rain. So
And you don't want to naturalize it. Well, I say it.
I could also just be forcing him to do it as well.
Yeah.
Having two.
I
Yep.
think
So
a
I'm
good.
fetching to go to Terravore beforehand. Yep. Just I'm making him use it as much as he can. Okay. So naturalize in hand too. It's actually not that bad of a play looking at it again because it grows Terravore if he kills it before it does damage.
Yeah.
So I get a little bit more damage that way. I'm just using Cody's resources in a way that I'm more or less deeming him to do it and not the way that he really would want to. So
That seems
it's all just kind
reasonable.
of putting Cody in that mana squeeze.
Now, I do like Cody using the naturalize in his hand and not the on board trick while
I
he's
agree.
giving up the information. Oh, and Cody's just
Oh,
scooping up.
yeah. Yeah, this Terravore at that point is a 7/7. Oh, but we both show our hands of absolute garbage, apparently.
Yeah.
Uh,
And even you in the past calls it garbage in hand, so he agrees.
exactly.
All right. Well, hey, good job on picking up game two. Now let's see if you can keep the hot streak going and squeak out this game three here. So we'll get on to that right now. All right, and let's see here. It looks like we are getting our opening hands for game three. It looks like Cody is mulligan down to six. Meanwhile, you are keeping a full seven here. Cody with a plans for the opener and no response. And you with just a treetop village, so slow starts from both of you. I'm sure you're stoked not to see a weathered wayfarer.
Yes, definitely. I do have a Mox Diamond in hand, so I could have gone a little faster if I had a two drop. But since I didn't, I just held on to that information, played it a little slow at the Treetop Village.
What have you? Is it Oath of Druids?
I believe so, yeah. So it looks like Cody think I kept them in while I took them out. So that is
What?
essentially a bear.
What a scrub!
I know. Again, looks like I don't have a three drop I feel is worth playing, so I'm just going to keep playing slow with the second treetop.
Which speaks to me that you don't have one of your enchantments kill spells. Did I see an earthquake in your hand though?
You did, and he just named Pyroclasm.
Oh, yep. That's
And it's funny, we were talking during this as well. He was like, I'm going to name one of the two. I don't know to name Earthquake or Pyroclasm. And he was like, I'm going to name Pyroclasm. Hope you don't have Earthquake. And I just go, you mean like this? And then just play it out.
now the unfortunate thing for Cody here is the pyroclasm was the right call because you have two more on your sideboard.
Yeah,
But
it definitely was.
yeah,
That's also again one of the nice things about cutting up Pyroclasm Earthquake is for Meddling Mage.
yeah.
So I think he made the right call. It just didn't work out well for him this time around.
That's the old saying from Star Trek. It's possible to make all the right decisions and still lose.
Exactly.
And I do agree with past you of saying that's pretty messed up, blowing up your Mox Diamond.
I agree. It's not very nice of him.
No, that's definitely not very chill of him at all. And a 4/4 Terror Whore coming down.
Yep. So I'm definitely putting him to the test to have a kill spell right here. Um, again, Terravore gonna run through. If he has his own Terravore, he has to lose Gemstone Mine to cast it with how his lands are right now. So yeah, Cody right now is just in a rough spot.
Yeah, this is where you want him to be. He's kind of
Exactly.
he's pinched on cards. You got some advantage. And this is a good position for you, which is, as you said earlier, a fortunate thing because you are not favored right now. Well, in the matchup in general, at this point,
Yeah.
I think the advantage bar is firmly
Yeah.
in your camp.
At this point, I can build up or activate Treetop Village. I think Terravore, because Cody had to sacrifice Gemstone Mine to even play this Meddling Mage out and Surge with one sub piece. It's now 7/7. I can fire up Treetop and attack for 10, putting him in a two turn clock. So he's really under the gun to deal with my board at this point.
Yeah, he is not in a good spot here.
I think he's thinking on the name, and it's just it's a tough name. I don't know what you're naming here.
Yeah. Although it does look like he just got his prize money thrown down, so that's
Yeah,
gotta
that'll lighten up the day a little bit.
yeah that's gotta fix the dour mood.
So I think he named Thermokarst. I believe is that what that says.
See, is that an Oath of Druids I see in your hand?
It may be. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just wrong on what I'm thinking. Yep. No, I remember. I brought in a couple on the draw. Is what I did, just
That
in
makes
case if
sense.
I get behind. If I get behind in the matchup, I could bring him back in on the draw. Okay, and it looks like Cody just did not find a way to deal with Terravore. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
we
he did
we
name
teased
most. Okay.
we teased him for being a scrub, but apparently you just brought them back in. So
Yep. Nope. He was totally correct, and I was a scrub.
all right. Well, that's gonna be it for us here today. We'll be back with one last round of finals uh, from our January Premodern Monthly through the decades in Louisville, Kentucky.